Alive in the darkness, necromancy, the dream world, all of the crazy things that no one talks about. Black magic, occult work. What is done in the evening? What is done at night? Where do we come from? Where do we go? What do you know, Kokomo Joe? It's kind of weird stuff, you know? The concepts of dreams, the concept of the mother, the womb, death, creation, darkness, dark matter. What is the compilation of all of the colors? If you take all of the colors, the shaded colors, what you'll get is a really interesting... What is it going to be? Is it going to be blackish? Very brown black? It's not going to be really black because there's going to be too many colors that are light in there. But it's going to be blackish. It's going to look very something, right? It's a confusing thing because it's not ultra black. It's not, as Savan Bomar puts out there, it's not Vanta black. It's not supreme, like light just disappears into it. You know, like that can't exist. It doesn't exist. So black doesn't exist and white doesn't exist. So it's a very confusing thing. I mean, you know, because any white thing, think of it this way: find the whitest shirt you own. I guarantee it has a stain on it. And the blackest thing you own ain't black at all. It's scuffed by things that aren't black. Isn't that strange? What's up, Illumis? What's up, Angel Creations? I've never seen you before. The war is on our mind. Well, maybe it is. Yeah. So without the, you know, what is the war? The war is over what? Is it the mind or is it the land? It doesn't seem to be the mind as much as the perception of ownership of land. Because the mind has never been at war. The mind was here producing. Yeah, energy. I dig that. Where did the energy come from? That's a big question. Everybody goes, oh, the energy. But nobody can tell you what the energy is. Energy is imagination, though. The wielders, the welders, the wilders, the people that form and fashion through language as smiths, wordsmiths, the Smithsonian, the Institute of the Architects of Language. Well, that came out of the creative mindset. It came out of creation. The energy comes out of creation. Energy, everybody says, oh, energy is everywhere. Well, how was energy created? Imagination. So the magi's, the imagers, the imagination, the magi's around you create vortexes of ideas. So when a really good speaker is talking, you find yourself, the room just dissipates and it turns to nothing. You find that you're listening to a storyteller, you're engulfed in that story. And then all of a sudden, 2 seconds later, where was I? Look around and, oh, there's that room that I was in. Yet what happened? Was that a portal? Was that a vortex? It was something. Where's that at? Where was that energy? Was that sound? What happened there? It was imagination. And so as Disney quite clearly points out to everyone, what does Disney say about imagination? Capture the imagination. It means to capture. How could you capture imagination? If you capture imagination, you collect or capture energy or money. Now we could walk all the way down the line of what these things are. Imagination to energy to money, money to physicality, physicality to objects that we own. So that imagination is the first birthright was imagination. So why does everybody want to capture it? If you got one person as a magician that's better at doing something, at architecting, at being a frameworker for reality, they're going to use their imagination to encapsulate and capture yours. Why are there 500 people? Why are there 1,000 people? Why are there 1,000,000 people? Why are there 10 million people paying $10 to go see a movie? That's the truth. 10 million people spend $10 to go see a movie. So, whose imagination has been used, and whose is captured, and who's instilling energy into people? Apparently, the production studios are in return for delivering an imagination to everyone. They're getting energy in return in the form of $100 million. This movie was worth $100 million, right? How did they do that? How did they accomplish that feat? Because their imagination was stronger and larger, and they used a bunch of different forms and illusions to do that, and they capture that energy. Which works this entire conversation into what is the dream world, what is the dark matter, what is it that people work with? Why is it that we work with a black pen? Why do we work with charcoal? What is the dead world? Why do we burn bodies? What is all of that? How is it that we go about creating landscapes? We take white paper. Well, we've always used white paper and put black lines on it. Why? Why? We had so many. We had the ability to use just about any color paper we wanted, and any other color pen we wanted. Why white and black? Why the chessboard black and white? Why these? So, as we're sitting here in this, I don't know, where are we? We're in this reality, which happens to be clear, and we have a bunch of objects around us, none of which are black and white, but we're subscribed to, the universe is like a chessboard. The universe is like yin and yang. It's black and white. No, shit ain't black and white out here. You've been fooled. You've been fooled, my little one. Shit is not black and white out here. The newspaper is black and white. The book is black and white. The chessboard is black and white. The yin and yang is black and white. But reality is infinitely constructed out of colors that have nothing to do with black or white. You walk out into nature, you will never see black and you will never see white. I guarantee it. You will see green and you will see brown. You will see tan. You'll see tan everywhere. You'll see things that kind of move in this direction of red. You'll find these flowers of yellow and colors that you might call hibiscus. You might find a pink this. You might find so many different stylized versions of energetic signatures which come to you as what you see as color. But you will never see black and you will never see white. It's a construct that was designed to steal your mind. You think the paper was supposed to be white? Do you know all the chemicals they had to use to make paper white? Paper is a tan color. You know that pill that you take that's serving you, to fix you? How is the pill white? All that bleach. And ain't the confusing part, if you really understood language, did they bleach paper to make it white, but the word bleach actually comes from the word black, because the word black is bleach, and they actually flipped it around in the dictionary. And then if you go to the Black's Law Dictionary, bleach means something different than what and then white actually means black demon. Now doesn't it get very strange? Now black and white and black seem to be some sort of convenient portrayer of information on this reality. Because, hey, it's the white people versus the black people. Always. Right? But when I look out there, why aren't we fighting against the Chinamen? Oh, is that not the proper nomenclature? Are they not? Is their skin too yellow? Are they not the yellow man? Oh, well, we don't mind talking about the Redskins or the Red Man, because we demolished all of them, and whoever we are, we don't know, right? But we certainly know who the black and the white man is, even though there's no white man out here. There's no black man out here. But yet, that's the whole thing that you're given. The black and white newspaper tells you about the black and white chessboard with the black and white man and the black and white scenario. It's this way or that way. It's right or wrong. Yet, in the world of magic, the only thing anyone ever does is they go into an infinitely dark black space and pull all of the colors out of it. Or they go to an infinitely clear space and design with all of the colors. No one's ever gone into a white light or a white space, because white is not a color. Or it's they say white is the absence of color. No, it's not. Clear is. Clearly, clear is the absence of color. And no one's ever seen completely black. So, but when you go to sleep at night, there's black. So you go to a black place to find black magic, to find the blackest of black, that you split up and divide into the spectrum and prism that we have of colors to create with. Or you go into the lightest of light, which is actually clear. So we can prove that black and white are not even part of this reality, but everybody tells you every day. The shit is black and white right here. It's on this piece of paper that... Who designed the paper? Why is it the size it is? Anybody got an idea why paper is the frame? It frames something in the size. Look at it. Put the paper on its side. What size is it? Does it have anything to do with the same size? Why is a door the size of a door? Why is a window the size of a window? Why is a piece of paper the size of a piece of paper? Does it have anything to do with the golden mean? Are they trying to construct something off of nature but can't do it? Are they taking the framework of what is called, well, you have these two wonderful numbers. One is 3.14, which is called pi. And you have 1.618, which is called phi or p. Or you have, I mean, it depends on how you want to pronounce it. But one is the pi framework. And that pi framework has to do with two-dimensional reality. Now, this is a very advanced concept, but hopefully I can lay it out in the right way so you all can visualize it and conceive it in your mind. The three-dimensional reality is based upon what is called phi. It's the golden mean. It's 1.618. Reality, which is three-dimensional, relies on the mathematics of the golden mean to create reality in 3 dimensions. Someone came along and tried to use mathematics, mathemagic, to create a 2-dimensional spectrum based upon what is called pi. Pi is why it's a pizza. A pizza pie is a 2-dimensional thing. It's a flat surface. They try to recreate a 3-dimensional reality, which is a flower growing, into explaining how that works in 2 dimensions by, instead of using the actual reality, which is 3 dimensions of 1.618, to turn it into 3.14, which becomes pi. And pi is a mathematical terminology that is used within finding the size of a circle. But there are no circles in nature. Not a damn one of them, because nature is 3-dimensional. What you find in nature is spirals, because nature is spiritual. People that work within black and white on top of paper design in the architecture of circles. Circles are for psychos. Cycles are for cycles. Cycles and circles and cycles are churches. Churches are how you learn in a system called the rota. It's called rote learning. To rote learn is to turn something in a circle. It's the wheel of learning. It means they say something and you say it back. It becomes a wheel, what you can never get out of, unless, of course, you spiral the wheel, which turns something into 3 dimensions. So by using the framework of pi, which is 3.14, you can find all the circle information you want. Well, that's great. I'm glad you can do that with numbers and pi. But to get outside of that in the real qualities of nature, what you'll find is phi. It takes a phi to understand 1.618, or the golden mean, the golden understanding of what nature is. Can't be done on paper, because that paper came from a tree that was 3-dimensional that someone cut down, turned into paper, and then bleached, and told you that bleach meant white even though bleach meant black, and then told you a bunch of lies on it. And poof. There it is. And so y'all can say thanks to Jordan because she inspired this little talk. Yeah, Angel Creations, crystals do control watches and the sun does control crystals. This is absolutely correct. And your body is a crystal structure as well. So imagine if you could figure out how to control the sun. You'd control time. When light goes through a hole, it splits into 7 colors. Angel Creations, that's not true. Light is clear. It doesn't become 7 colors. It becomes infinite colors. You only perceive 7 colors because somebody told you that. And that prism, well, what does a prism have to do with reality? We don't live inside of a prism. Light came through, light being clear, came through a prism, meaning a triangle. Where's this triangle at? We don't live inside of a triangle. Oh, Electric Tile, you said that in Marty Leeds. I'm going to have to go check that out. Yeah. So if, yeah, what up, Logan? So yeah, Angel Creations, if you're still here, yeah, understand that. We don't live inside of a prison, nor is light is not white coming through a prism. It doesn't work that way. What up, Natasha? Cool. So, if you guys want to jump in here, just relaxing with some wine after having a long conversation with a friend of mine. And now that I figured out there's like a 10-second time delay between my voice and you guys, it's actually I've realized it's actually better that you guys are a little bit ahead of me with your typing than me being ahead, because then there'll be giant chunks of me being silent. Cam is never sober. What you talking about, Jordan? Cam is always. He's always out the box. I don't know a damn thing. So what's good, people? Which direction should I go after that? That little weird download. I thought it was fun. Oh, nice, dude. On Lysergic or something else? Flatland fucking dimensions. How many do I see? I see 3 without question. Even though Savan would suggest you see 2. No, I see 3. Oh, nice, Cam. That sounds good. Logan, can I talk a bit expectations and our inner will and possibly obtaining that? You know, I'm Super Champion Rocker. I'm pretty sure most people did die in 2012 to some degree. Cold brew coffee and 5 HTP is excellent. Oh, dude, that's awesome. Logan, you said, can I talk about expectations and our own inner will? Can you kind of reframe the question? Like, you mean like how to like magic and how to form our expectations to, you know, how our beliefs will change? Are you saying how our beliefs and expectations will manifest our will? Is that kind of what you're saying? Just in different words, I'm assuming. Oh, okay. Whoa, okay. Yeah, that's a good question, Logan. I'll dip into that. And Cam, you know what? You know what I'm gonna do right now, Cam, because you suggest it. Let me see. I don't know. Let's see what I got. I'll turn a light on for y'all. Let me see. Here, we'll play a game tonight. What is Zen putting in his mouth? What is Zen eating? Can I erase that last part? What is Zen putting in his mouth? Enough of that. I want no comments on that. I'll just we'll see. We'll just I don't want any children coming on this channel and thinking that there's no illicit substances happening here. I'll just say that much. Although, yeah, maybe I'll tell you guys in a future episode what it was. All right, Logan. I'm gonna dig into your question here. All right, here we go. How do I come across teachings, find to be false, and then how do you realize that your own teachings are that matters? Well, I think there's 2 distinct levels to that. It has to do with your objective reality, like how you're walking through your world, and how I'm walking through mine. Because some things that are applying to me just won't apply to you. That's just a matter of fact. If you happen to live in Alaska, and I happen to live in, you know, middle of the desert, my teachings don't apply to you. They're not all. You know, there'll be some things that will link up, but there's a majority of the teachings that just won't link up. And we have to accept that. Spiritual teachers out here beyond some... I even rephrase that. That ain't spiritual teachers. I just say it. Motherfuckers out here beyond some stupid shit where they think what they're saying is like supreme knowledge. We all must be vegan. We all must be doing this. Here's where we are now. We need to all catch up to the space and time that we're in where everyone's a vegan. No, that's bullshit. You know, that ain't real. And that's part of the answer. Is how is it that I come across things that happen to be false? There's a falsity that exists in a sense of, well, that's just false for those people over there, and that's just false for those people over there, and that's true. And we can kind of, you know, mold through that and say, well, it's not false that we all should. It's true. Let me try this. It's true that we all should attempt to be as fruitarian and vegetarian as possible. That's a truth. It's a false that we all have to be. You know, that the world doesn't work the way it is, and that, you know, it's a falsity that anybody uses some sort of condemnation about moral or ethical things about, like, you know, eating an animal. That's a falsity. You can't talk to me about morals and ethics because you don't know shit about it. Especially here, let me just go one further on this, and I think this will help to clarify your clarify your query into what I'm going to say. Is if you wanted to convince me that eating no meat products was the way to go, because people have tried this, I would immediately say to you, hey, do you you know, you're kind of a Buddhist, huh? You kind of believe in, like, reincarnation. They're like, yeah. People do this all the time. They're very spiritual people. They're like, on the spiritual journey, and they think they're like holier than everyone, you know. They read a couple holy books. They're like wearing the orange robe and like, yeah. It's best not to harm any animal. I was like, yeah. So you believe in reincarnation? They're like, yeah. Okay, you believe in reincarnation. So you think that, like, most animals would probably just move up that, like, life ladder, right? Yeah. So wouldn't you be doing that animal a favor to, like, oh, I don't know, slaughter the fish, you know, kill the fish so that way the fish can become a squirrel and move on in its spiritual journey? And who are you to say that that cow didn't want to die and become the next version of its reality? What if you kill that cow and you let off what becomes the next Bodhi, you know, the next Buddha? You don't know that. You don't know anything about spirit. If you think you can adjust, you know, if you think you know anything about karma, then people out here like saying some stupid shit like, your past life's karma will come to you now. Like, no, that's just as dumb as saying that you need to pay for Jesus's stupid ass fucking father who created all of us and then called us all sinners and thought that he could just wash away our sins, but then we go to fucking hell. Like, that's the same bullshit these ignorant ass people out here in the spiritual community that say something to the belligerent ass fucking nature that, oh no, in your past life you were the queen of Asia. Why is everybody the fucking queen or the king or some important fucking figure in history, and then all of a sudden you gotta pay because you didn't treat people right? So now I'm paying for something that happened millennia ago, lifetimes ago, that, like, right now I'm playing my karmic rewards for? Like, suck a dick. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. You're disempowering people. So how is it that I know? Because I can tell when somebody has something to gain out of telling me something. How is it that I can expose and dispose of bullshit in my life the same way that I can smell something from a mile away that's fucking phony and faulty and dog shit? It won't set right with me. It won't fit into, like, I know that a pair of pants works for everyone, but I know a pair of pants that fits on me isn't necessarily going to fit on a fat person. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's ways of traversing this, and knowledge tends to, is it this is going to fit everyone kind of knowledge? You know, to what level is this truth? I can say without question that breathing clean air is 100% legitimate knowledge that I can teach to everyone. That is never going to be cause any sufferable harm or discontent. Breathing clean air. Then I can say clean water. Then I can say eating food that hasn't been tainted by GMOs. Then I can say for people that are ready to receive the information, drinking your piss is better than, you know, those other two. I would say clean air than drinking your piss, but most people can't even identify with that. And then I can go down this list and I can find things that, where does it fit into? Is this the highest level of truth I can give to somebody that in no way, shape, or form could anybody change, rearrange, remanufacture, or try to sell to someone? You can't sell to someone the information that it's good to drink your piss. You can't sell to someone the information that breathing air is good. You can't sell to someone the idea that drinking water is good. Yet we live in a society right now that everybody is so fucked up and retarded and out of their goddamn minds because of, obviously, the sorcery and religion and bullshit and poison, that we actually are selling books that literally say, drink your piss. We are selling books that literally say, hey, it's called The Water Cure. There's a book called The Water Cure. It literally, there's hundreds of pages telling people that drinking water is a good idea. And yet, not 100% of the people that read this book agree with it. Holy fucking balls of flaming dog shit. That we live in a society where someone, A, needs to write a book that drinking clean water is healthy, and B, that 100% of people don't agree with that. That's how far we are away from reality. So, stepping back from that, how do I do it personally? I smell it. I sense it. It's like, that's in my soul, because I don't give a, you know why? Because I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't give a fuck what you think about what I have to say. And maybe my gift is that, like, I didn't have a lot of friends. I don't have a lot of friends. People don't like me. Generally, people don't like me because I don't care what you think about me. That's confusing to people, because most people, when they walk in somewhere, they want to make a friend. They care because they have something to gain. They have something to gain. They have something to lose. I got nothing to lose. I got nothing to gain. I don't give a fuck how you feel about me. If I start with that attitude, like, you don't own my soul, you don't own my spirit, and I don't care how you feel about me, because I've already dealt with people that should have liked me that actually don't. I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, here, it's real easy to deal with truth, because I can throw shit around and make a lot of money and not feel good about it, or I can just say truthful things, and either way, I'm gonna have people that don't like me. So I'm sitting here in a position to go, well, like it or don't like it. Yeah, doesn't bother me. So after that long ass conversation, there's your answer, Logan. Hopefully that answered it fascinatingly well for you, and it provided you some humor and insight into how it is that I realize what matters. And now I'm just scrolling through everyone's comments. Oh, Rise Now, you broke the coconut wicked. If you can break a coconut, you definitely can disintegrate a fibroid. Come on. MK, what you talking about? You wish you was my friend. I mean, nothing to wish for if you're here, you know. So be it. Hanafi Din, did you need to see something? Would you like me to turn some lights on? Hanafi Din, do you want to see something that's happening over here? It's late for me, and I don't really care about having lights on. I'm just kind of chilling in bed talking to people. But if you have something you need to, or you mean the subject matter is too dark, as in like dark matter. Am I that ugly? No, I'm a very beautiful person. I'm very good looking. In fact, I'm probably too good looking to be on camera most times. I think anybody else, could everybody else in the room tell him that I'm decently okay looking? Lie to the man. Lie to Hanafi. Tell him that I look. Yeah. Stephen Coe. Acupuncture. Acupuncture, if you go to a good person, it's 1,000 times worth it. If you even if you went to somebody that doesn't really know what they're doing, it's definitely worth it. You know, I went to a guy that was super expensive, but he was like ancient of days, like sat me down and just could tell by the way I was sitting what had to be done. and he was just like, the whole time he was just shaking his head at me like, What are you doing?" Like it was like he was half like Asian, half Russian. He was a crazy dude. But yeah. Antone and Anya. You have you actually seen me, Antone and Tanya? And are you a dude or a chick? And Antone, are you a dude or a chick? No, Hanafi, it's only because I'm just tired, man. I do many live shows with my face and everything. I'm just sitting here in my bed and I just didn't feel like. That's all, man. Ah, MK. Well, that's an easy question. You know that. It's environment is controlled by the media, you know, and the environment is going to stimulate people to be one way or another. Angel Barcenas, the solar plexus. Mine was actually my clearing of that was mostly due to some dreams I had, some intense dreams I had. I don't know what I did specifically to clear them. I just remember having these yellow Lamborghini dreams, and um, I don't know if it was like specifically like doing some coffee enemas and getting the stagnation in my um, gallbladder kind of moving, or you know, Angel. I'll give some Angel Barcenas. I'll give some more thought to that for you, and you can ask me about that in the future. Yeah, and Mantak Chia. Yeah, Antona, and then yeah, 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 you an Italian that's straight as fuck is like that. That's not. I doubt that. Italian dudes are never straight. They always. Oh shit! Well, thank you. You know what? You might have me light something over here. Rise now. I just got to your comment. I might have to light something up too. I know if you're passing it to me or Rosen. Yeah, and so yeah, the that's why I said the Antona and Nanya, the solar plexus thing was I had this really intense yellow Lamborghini, and if you look into the solar plexus chakra and the connection to the bull, and you realize the Lamborghini, the emblem on it is a bull. The the dream I had like 3 nights in a row, and I didn't really catch the idea until the second night, and the third night was very focused on I couldn't get out of second gear in the car, and then someone actually started speaking to me in Indian, like you can't say Indian, but like one of the Indian dialects. I don't remember which one. Like it wasn't Hindi, but it was a dialectic underneath Hindi. I don't remember which one exactly, but they were talking about one of the chakras, and it was that one because I asked because my girlfriend at the time was Indian, and I said, "Hey, I remember this word. What does it mean?" And she goes, "That basically means your solar plexus." And I was like, "Holy shit!" Yeah. I'm just catching up. I'm a little behind on the jokes here, Antone and Nanya. With the I'm at 1 o'clock with the fucker comments. Oh, Cam, of course I want to hear your joke. I never been to India. Yeah, I knew Drunvalo's work pretty well. I dug that a long time ago. I should probably revisit all the old work I was into. Like that, Drunvalo's work was maybe like 9 or 10 years ago that I really got into his stuff. Actually, shit. When I think about it, maybe like 13 or 14 years ago. Danny Delane, when you go inside, you see so many crazy colors. Funny, last night I was in this really strange place in between dreaming and in between my waking world and sleeping, where I was really in this nice body buzz state. But I kept having those visual clues and like dipping into like audio and visual. They're not hallucinations, but they're right there in that borderline where you can kind of hear and see things. And it was one of the first times where I wasn't like tripping out because of it, and so I was able to focus more on that. But then I would eventually just kind of wake up back into this realm. You work with Thoth and Bratya Janvala. That's crazy. I had this really weird thing happen the other day, and you could look into these videos. I wish I remembered which one it was. But this dude came on the show and was basically said to me, if anyone's familiar, I don't know who was on. Maybe somebody is on here from that show. Maybe Danny was there. This dude came on and said that. Okay, do you know who do you know who Neville Goddard is? And this is for whoever, but I was kind of speaking almost specifically to Antone and Anya. If you know who Neville Goddard is, his teacher. If you know who his teacher was, he always talks about him, Abdullah. And I've met Neville Goddard in not a dream, but literally on another realm. It was crazy, and I did a whole video on this. And then I'm doing this video the other day, and this dude says, after having this long conversation with me, I've never talked to him before, I've never seen him. He just like out of nowhere says, "Yeah, Abdullah brought me to you," knowing nothing about how much I know of Neville Goddard and having met Neville Goddard, or knowing that I know anything about Abdullah. And he says that Abdullah brought him to me. Or brought him to me. That's crazy, right? Uh, so Hanafi, the dreams, like the teeth falling out and can't walk like in mud, those are two completely separate different things. They're both transitional things. The teeth falling out are never, it's not bad. It's kind of like getting the hanged man card or something. The can't walk like you're in mud can, if it's a subconscious dream, is different than another type of astral plane. Like if you can't walk like you're in mud, that tends to be you getting out of body and it being really tough to move in your, how to put it, like your astral body. That's usually what that is. Having a hard time moving is usually when you're in the astral realm and you just don't know it and you think you're dreaming. The teeth falling out don't happen. That doesn't happen in the astral realm. That's actually just a dream, and it means of kind of like a changing of energies. It could be a birthing process, or it could be a fear process. It tends to be like a birthing of something new. Yeah, cool, huh? Abdullah was Neville Goddard's teacher. Abdullah was the black guy that lived in New York City in the 30s that basically taught. He was the Christian mystic that taught everything to Neville Goddard. And so if you listen to a lot of Neville's audios, like just look up Abdullah and Neville, and you'll find a couple. You'll find a couple really, really good ones where he talks about Abdullah. Interesting resonance. I used to never be able to deal with phones in dreams, but recently, I think it was one day that somebody told me you can't do anything with phones in dreams. I was like, well, people have told me a lot of things can happen in dreams, and they tend to happen. And then after that, like I'd be like, in fact, about a week ago, I think I was doing a video on it and talking about like how I took my phone out during a dream. Oh, here's the last. Here it is. Um, about a week ago, I was having a dream about the moon. So the sun was out, and then the moon was out, and the moon became a hexagram. And I tapped the person next to me on the shoulder. I was like, "Look, there's the moon. Look, it's a hexagram." And like, holy shit, yeah, it is. I was like, "Let me get my phone out to take a picture of this." And I start to pull my phone out to take a picture, and as soon as I go to, I'm using my phone, which is the phone I have in my hand right now, like legitimately. I would have known in a dream if it was something different. But my dreams are a little more vivid than that. So I pull my phone out, I go to take a picture, and the moon disappears. And at that point, like so now I put my phone back in my pocket, and I was like, "Dude, did you just see the moon just disappeared? It just like zipped away off into the distance." If I had to right now make as much money as I could to support a family, what profession would I pursue? I can't, that's unanswerable to me. I can't answer something so profoundly like not part of my reality, nor would I even engage in that practice or theory that I'd have to take care of a family and pick a job. But if it had to be something, it'd be doing what I'm doing now. And what I'm doing now would end up paying me enough to take care of a family. That would be it. There's nothing else I could do. I couldn't choose to do something that wasn't of my being, of my, what I desired to do and what I'm excellent at. I would, my family would have to starve, apparently. If this was what I was doing and I wasn't making enough money doing it to feed a wife and 2 kids or 3 kids, whatever, then they would starve. And that's all there would be to it. You play video games in dream? That's wicked. Yeah. Well, Antone and Nanya, that's very funny. The Saturn became a hexagram, or the moon became a hexagram of Saturn. My earliest work that I ever did on here is all about the sun, or excuse me, the moon, Saturn, matrix, and the salt cubes. It's all of basically 90% of the work that I've done all revolves around the connection between father time, meaning what Saturn is doing as a time placeholder, and something to do with the consideration of what people perceive as death, and what the moon does, and what the moon is as a money or placeholder for space and time in an artificial way, where Saturn was the original thing. And so, like, yeah, all of my work has been about that. And most of my early work is specifically devoted to that. So that's very interesting. Nobody has any evidence that he was a real person. I don't. As far as you're saying, Abdullah, yeah, Abdullah being a real person. Yeah, I mean, I'd assume if Neville Goddard said it to be quite honest. But then again, most it, even if he existed in the human form, there's plenty of people that have walked this earth that no one's ever heard of. You know what I mean? Especially very spiritual people. Like, maybe he only made himself known to Neville. You could walk around anywhere doing anything. Like, who would ever know? Like, if he only made his being known to one other person. Yeah. So I think he was a spirit guide in human form that nobody else knew about. What do I think about Hinduism? Considering today was the Diwali. There's not much I think about Hinduism other than the people that don't know what it really means don't understand that the Hindus really were using archetypes and archons and figures to give you what every other religion tried to do. Like nobody is really having, they're not really polytheistic. Like the same way the Greeks weren't polytheistic. They were just using energies and archetypes and forms to create some ideas that then became what we see as astrology. But yeah, I mean to go deeper, Rise. Now, I mean, what more do you want to know about my ideas on Hinduism or what it means or is? Like, it's one of the what did Alan Watts say? Buddhism is a watered down version of Hinduism for America or for the Western, you know, take take Hinduism, water it down, it becomes Buddhism, which becomes the Western mind idealism, to make things easier because too much there's too much astrology in Hinduism because they believe a lot in astrology, but where it is now, and having a real talk with a Hindu, you know, they're a little far removed from the actual spiritual practices of why and how they did things. Creepy stuff in the sky resonance. All right, electric towel. Oh man, Cam, you always come through at the like an hour in with some really like, man, we could start a show with this kind of stuff. A breakdown on brain enhancement, mental potential, intelligence, neurotransmitters, exercise, herbs, certain vitamins, foods, nutrients. Man, you sound like somebody I know. You sound like somebody that wants to figure something out there, Cam. uh, you might as well just change your name to DMT, you know? Yeah, of course I can do all those things. But doing them right now, I don't know. That's a lot. You asking me to make like a 6 hour show. Well, Hanafi Din, where are your spirit guides? Apparently, you've shown up here for a reason. Don't you know who I am? Hasn't anyone told you yet? I'm a damn Archon. Well, yeah, he did, and Tone and Anya, he did ask. So, poof, I know. I might be a fool for letting people know, but at this point in time, if you can't just outright say you're Ancient of Days and you're a goddamn Archon, like what else? What else is left out here? Everybody out here been playing games with people, fucking shit up, poison in the food, poison in the airwaves, poison in the water. No one would believe me anyways. If I was straight up a god in human form, you wouldn't believe me anyways. So it doesn't matter anymore. So then the only people willing to accept the information, you know, challenge anybody to go through all the information I give. Find me one incoherent thing that I've ever said that doesn't have value on this plane of existence. Deem me not a god. I dare you. Who else is doing? Yeah, God, who else is doing shit for free out here? Yeah, technically, schmechnically. You know what I mean? Yeah, so do it then. Then be God. We're all a bunch of baby gods trying to figure out how to become. As Neville Goddard said, God became man so man could become God. Some got there a little quicker than the others. Some are in archon form, some are in archetype form, some are demigods, some are spirit guides, some are angelic creatures. You know what I mean? So you know, we all fit in wherever. Like, ain't nobody less or more, but certainly, a 3-year-old needs to be fed by, you know, someone that's got food, right? They ain't out there like slam dunking basketballs and doing backflips. It just ain't possible. Ah, Jesse, mom. What you mean? Was that me earlier? I only saw your I don't know what last email I got from you, Jesse, mom. Um, was that me? You tell me. You said it was psychedelic. I mean, was that informed through the use of any psychedelics, or you just mean literally you just were tripping out on some shit? And I mean, if this is where you want to talk about it, that's cool because I'm happy to talk to you one on one about that, and I'm also happy to do, you know what I mean? Well, and so and Nani, I guess in the end it's all consciousness. Well, that's the good thing. There is no end. So apparently some people aren't conscious because nothing ever ends. Is that even right? Is that the right way? Nothing ever ends. Ever nothing doesn't not completely start or end. How's that? What up, Cam? What's the news? Is it on school or a chick or a job? It's got to be one of the three. Hopefully for you, it's a chick at this point. And Cam, I'll tell you this. I wish I had it in me to be proud of anyone or anything. I just I've never found it. I've never found any pride. I find it to be outside my capacity to be prideful. I have he find the bemusement in this. I have too big of an ego to be prideful. Yeah, and try to combine the word ego, prideful, and narcissism without actually stepping on each other's toes. Some people can do that. I somehow avoid narcissism while equally obtaining a quality ego and finding no pride in anything. Yeah, Hanafi. That is what See, it's funny about DMT is the word atom or atom, the atomic thing is in DMT. The atom is the ATM, is the DMT, is the ADAM, is the ATOM. It's all the same word. And yeah, you collected it all, but it's so hard to bring back down to here and then to communicate it. Oh man. Oh, nice, dude. That's wicked. Dude, that's owner and two people. That's Cam, that's three more people than I ever took on a meditation. Cool, man. For real, that's awesome. I'm glad that worked. I'm glad that worked, yo. Alchemy Gains. And we about an hour in, so I got like 5 more minutes. Because I'm really kind of get slowing down here. War dreams. I don't necessarily. I think that has to do in the same idea is pulling a card that has to do with war or having some sort of you know a war dream isn't necessarily as like oh man there's so much chaos going on as we like to make it out to be. I think if you have the dream, then obviously when you wake up, the turmoil is over, right? I don't as I repeat multiple times during these kind of things, I don't play around with past life regression. I've done many real long you know, me getting into super hyper zen mode, saying like I ain't fucking around with people talking about bullshit ass past life regression, because karma don't work that way, and it certainly takes away from people's power when they believe in some sort of past life hypnotherapist bullshit. And I'd side with which one was it? Was it GM or was it the other one? One of them Krishnamurtis out there, who said, or was it UK UG Krishnamurti? It says, you know, someone said, "Hey, what's my past life? Can you tell me who I was in my past life?" And the question is, who's asking? You know, chew on that for a little while. Who's asking? You want me to tell you about your future life too? How come nobody wants to know about their future life? How many people, you know, everybody wants to know, they want to go to the tarot reader to know about their future life, and then they want to go to this past life regression therapist, but nobody wants to know about who they are right now. Fuck your past life. It's stupid. It sucks. And fuck your past life if you were the Queen of England, because right now you ain't. So fuck it. You know what you did in your past life too? You know what you were doing in your past life? You were 3 years old taking a shit in your diaper. And then putting your hand in your pants, picking up the poop and wiping it on the wall, and then getting some on your face. So look at you. Oh, do you have to pay for that now when you're 35 years old? The kind of insanity and inanity and fucking lunacy of these assholes and shitbags out here claim to be some sort of spiritual guides and gurus that tell you that your past life or your whatever you were going through in your past life that you need to pay for in any way now, they can suck a giant fat cock, because they're lying. They're liars. They're profiteering off of you. You got any past traumas? That's easy. Let go of the shit. I can tell you how to work through that. You know, you can... Not to say that these things don't exist. Not saying that past lives didn't exist. Not to say that you don't have traumatic little things stuck inside of your system through your DNA coding that goes back to the beginning of time. I'm not saying that. But anybody try to make you feel like you need to pay the piper for some past trauma from, you know, what went on in the 16th century? You know, that's you know, that's the kind of person that I want to shave my nut hair and put it in their fucking ice cream. You know what I mean? Because those people are idiots. But what do I know? Cam, that's totally awesome. I'm just getting back to where you say to include that newsletter. Awesome, man. That's totally wicked. MK, you're right on point there. Make a personality and have an experience. There you go. I think, MK, you did about the best job ever explaining what's going on here as anybody ever has. What up, little brother? I got the cards. I could pull them out, but I got a couple more minutes. I'm not you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. You can, Anton and Nanya, you're definitely gonna release past traumas through fasting, trigger points, all sorts of things. Yeah, and alchemy gains, getting into your dream worlds and stuff. Of course, those things are real. But you could be bringing those onto yourself because of perception. How many people do you know that have ever went to a past life regression therapist, and that any of them at all ever came back with anything but they used to be the fucking king of France, or that they were some important person, or that they were the, you know, like, what? How was everybody that person? What a fucking load of dog shit is always the thing. Those people that are selling these past life regressions are the same people that are selling your DNA heritage. That's all bullshit too. Ain't nobody seen some fucking DNA. Some asshole Francis Crick that did a bunch of LSD that got popularized. Ain't nobody seen DNA. Fuck out of here with that shit. You know, that's the same that's the scientism bullshit cult they're trying to sell you something too. Either way, somebody trying to sell you something from your past that needs to be brought up, that you need to figure out. Nah, right now exists. Figure out now. And walk into your future. Yeah, you can dig into some things, especially in the dream realms, but man, oh man, if people out here ain't trying to sell you your fucking karmic, there you go, soul trap crap. There you go, resonance. People out here always trying to, you gotta fucking heal. You gotta make up for life's traumas. They might as well be selling Jesus hanging on a cross. Alright, Rise now. Super champion, how do I care for my hair? You know, it depends. It depends on the time of the month, the time of the year. I probably don't do as much as I should to care for my hair. I usually knot it up in a little bun. I wash it when I should. You know, massage my scalp. I once in a while would do some heavy duty oil treatments. I try to wash it as little as possible. Antone and Nani, are you asking me about Dolores Cannon? I don't know who that is. Is that the one that's... Doesn't she have another name that she goes by? Cam's want growing up. There you go, Hanafi. That's what's up. We can dip into the past and dig out of it. Like we can find energy and power just like you can find grounding, you know, in the soil. You can find power there, just like you can find pieces of information in the past that will help you do things. But all in all, life ain't lived in the past. What do they tell you? The wake doesn't steer the ship. You know, that kind of shit. That's real, but no fap is making you feel more horny. Oh yeah. I don't Antone, I don't know Dolores' cannons work that well, so I know there's somebody else that her name reminds me of that is one of the people that, you know, sells the whole concept of past life regression and some other weird shit, and that I'm just like, yeah, you're very wrong. Haha, MK hit on all big titty ladies. You know what? Go do it. Have a good time, y'all. You know, find yourself a big old titty lady. All right, Rise now. Good to see you. Yeah, yeah. You know, I never. Again, Anton, I don't know a work like that, and you know, there's a lot of people that when you get into psychoanalyzation and you get into like theory of past lives versus people that have like scripted protocol of ways of working with an algorithm of adjusting human consciousness, you know, that's easy shit to do. You know, it's easy to, anybody can trigger into something. Oh, apparently you have some mother issues. Oh my god, he figured it out. I got mother issues. Oh my god, you have father issues. Holy shit. You know, like that's simple, super, like basic shit that, you know, it's easy to manipulate out of that. And I'm not talking about her. I'm just saying like this is the general practice of people into these kind of things. You can dig in anybody's fucking belief system or whatever, because everyone's gonna have, like, flip a fucking coin and I'm gonna be able to tell you everything I want about your life. Never even have met you, and I could be like, oh, I'm an empath. I can work through this. You know, and then if someone sat in front of me, oh shit, then I'm gonna be figuring. look at their knuckles, look at how fat they are, look if they're wearing sunglasses, eyeglasses. I'm going to see how they, you know, respond to, you know, those are all easy trigger mechanisms, man. Do I think sci-fi video games are channeled? I don't know, probably, to a degree, yeah. Yeah, and so I never met any Pleiadians. I felt like I've met some that didn't know they were. Then I've met some of those chicks that like just standard bland, you know, blonde hair, blue eyed that have a really resonant thing that's, you know, very, very unearthly, like out of this earth. What up, Lincoln? Barbara Marcinak, that's probably who it is. Yeah. So I got a couple more minutes, y'all. I'm really starting to catch that sleepy vibe. Yeah, Barbara Marcinak, I think that's the one. And there's another one that does the I forget who it was. It was somebody that I've made 3 videos about actually because it was somebody that I was like, that woman is actually a lying piece of shit. And I remember listening to a video of her saying she was channeling something. And then the channel told the person asked about flat earth, and the channel was like, basically shut the fuck up. The flat earth idea is stupid. You're an idiot. And I was like, oh, and you've revealed yourself as a pile of fucking donkey shit. And it was, who was it? It was somebody that's really popular that a lot of people really dig. It was one of the people that preach all the all you need to know is the secret. The secret to the here and now is just to believe in all the good. Who's that one? It's so funny. I've done 2 videos on it. Believe in the here and now. Everything is right now. All you got to do is believe in the positive, and you get exactly what you want. Some fat bitch who always does that. I'm like, well, why don't you believe that you're not a fat asshole? Abraham Hicks. Yeah. Abraham Hicks. She's a pile of donkey shit to me. She's a liar. I don't like anything. The first time I heard her voice, I'm like, ugh, you're lying. You're a liar. You fucking reek. You reek of it. Cassiopeians. Yeah, very funny. The House of, yeah. Cam, that talk, I never did a talk on it. Oh, actually I did. It was a urine talk that I did, but it was about a writing that I did from 6 years ago. 7 years ago, in fact. I couldn't right now off the top of my head tell you anything about the Cassiopeians, but I remember it was something that happened when I was in Diana doing urine therapy, covering myself in urine every day, lying out in the sun, and seeing the symbol that actually meant Cassiopeia, and then the word Cassiopeia coming into my mind, and then doing a bunch of research on it. So I'd have to revisit that, but yeah. Yeah, and so and she teaches horse shit is what she teaches. She can go get fucked in the ass by a goat as far as I'm concerned, cuz what I sense out of her is she's a fucking liar and a lunatic. And she takes people down a very shitty path. And like she'd have no business in the room with real teachers. Like you know, there's a lot of places I see people out there like that certain people can get in the, you know, space and room at, like, you know, there's people out here that have small channels that will never be allowed on stage with people that are lying, and she's a fucking liar. Is that Papa Legba in me speaking? Is that me speaking? Is that my ego? No, that's just the way I've just, something inside of me always said that person's not telling the truth. And then she exposed herself when she went off on the flat earth shit. Because for me, right now, my qualifier for people, one of the major ones, is if you don't if you don't say if you don't think the world is flat at this point, you either haven't done the research, you're a liar, or you're full of shit. So pick one. If you haven't done the research, then be honest enough to say, well, I haven't actually looked into it and I don't know anything about it. But to actually come out and say something against it, then I certainly know you're paid for and you have a limit to what you can say. Bashar, I like a lot of what he says, and I've done things on, like, okay, here's the thing, is everybody that's a channel has a limit on what they're allowed to say. That's just the point of it. They're working within a frequency bandwidth, meaning if you're on channel 98 or you're on channel 101.3, if you're on 101.3, your bandwidth is literally country music, and the literal frequency of the voice of the person on there is going to be within a certain range, and the music is going to be in a certain range. You're not playing any hip-hop music there because it's just not allowed. It won't go on there. So in the same way, when someone's channeling something, someone to say they're channeling Pleiadian, or they're channeling literally a specific being like Bashar, there's nothing false per se coming out of who's channeling Bashar, but it's the level of consciousness that's allowed to come through that space and that portal or that tunnel of information. There's a top and bottom limiter. There's a limiter to the thing they can say. They may know more and they may not know more, but that's all they're allowed to, because they're part of that channel. So, yeah. You're not sure though personally on the flat earth? Well, then you either either you're blocked off mentally because of preconceived notions you have of the schooling and the training went very well on you, or you haven't put enough effort and research in and opened up your mind to it. I personally find it to be, where I am, because for me, when I wouldn't even look at it. For me, it was never part of my consciousness. I never even considered it. I was always like, yeah, I'm not even getting into that. Nobody, because none of my teachers even touched on it. Nobody I knew would even talk about it. So it was never part of my reality. And then one moment it became part of my reality where I was like, oh, so and so looked that up and said that's important. And I was like, holy shit, I respect that person. Okay. And then I dove into it. And then about 2 weeks later, and about 100 hours worth of videos, I was like, holy shit, the earth is fucking flat. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And if it's not flat, it's at least bigger than they're telling us. And what I can say now is either I don't know 100% that the earth is flat, but I know that it's definitely not a fucking ball flying through outer space. I can say that. I can happily, easily, convincingly, comfortably in my own being know for all where I stand that what I'm standing on is not a ball hurling through outer space in a heliocentric model. I can say that easily. Can I convince anyone that it's a flat earth? No. But, to me it's like, well, if I was given the opportunity as a child to look at both models, if everyone was given this opportunity as a child, there would be 99.9% of children that would come to the conclusion that without a question, this shit is flat and there's not much you're doing about that. That's where I sit now. Like, I've released myself from all the training of all the things. I wish it weren't so. I really do. I wish I didn't have to say, I believe the earth to be flat. I wish I didn't have to say that. I wish I didn't have to argue with people about this shit. And that's why my channel is literally, I have, 600, almost 700 videos, 400 I took down, and only 2 of them are on flat earth. Because because it's too much of a topic. Like, I don't want to have that conversation with people. Like, hopefully, when people get through all of my information and then it comes up, like, holy shit, literally, you, like, all this shit you're teaching, and you believe flat Earth too? Fuck. Then people are like, damn, everything else you say is 100% verifiable, honest fucking truth. I'm going to have to look into that. So that's where I kind of sit on it. You know what I mean? And I mean, it is a lock and key mechanism for everything else. Like, to me, the most important three things are urine therapy, flat Earth, and whatever I deem appropriate for the day. But those two are basically the most important things anybody could ever understand. Unlock psychokinesis. A lot of it is just standard blocking mechanisms that we have in our mind of believing things not to be possible. And other things are literally physical objects. And all of the shit that I teach about is how to make psychokinesis easier, which is to clean up your brain physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Yeah, there you go, Cam. Let them know. There's the easy stuff. Yeah, hey, Alchemy Games. I'm just listen to what Cam said. Like, that's what's up. That's the easy stuff. Fix because this is all has to do with like upgrading your Well, I don't want to make it as simple as saying it's your electrical charge or static electricity or anything like that, but it has something to do with whatever the background noise and energy of the universe is. It's hard to say. It's hard to point at and say that's what it is. But it's something to do with your breath work. It's something to do with the cleanliness of your body. It's something to do with Kundalini. It's something to do with your blood. It's something to do with, you know, focus of thoughts. Like, it's all of these things resonating together to create some sort of environment that you can move something with your mind. That's what it is. How to explain all of that? Oh, watch all of my videos and do all of those things. You know, do I do all of the things I preach? Absolutely fucking not. If I did, I wouldn't be talking to all of you because I'd be floating off, levitating over the fucking Atlantic Ocean, doing some stupid shit. And that's part of it is part of me not doing it is probably that, like, oh, it's more enjoyable to be talking to all you assholes. Yeah, breath work and fasting. And that's essentially what it all comes down to. Spirit and water, you know? And I think it's because there was a few times that I'd done so much fasting and been to points where I was like, man, I think I might actually just be able to levitate here, and if I do, that's gonna freak me the fuck out. I won't know what to do if you all of a sudden have that capacity. Like, what do you do? Do I have to go and be like, well, I'm capable of doing this, or do I start doing that more? And at what point do I literally have to, like, okay, I need to put a backpack on and fucking walk into the mountains, or do I'm like, hey, can I make a fucking 1-800 phone call to all the government agencies? Do you guys want to do tests on me, or can I help you with something? Can we fix the world, or are you gonna use me for like black ops projects, or like it became very perform? You know, I was like, let me just go ahead and eat food here, because I don't want to be way different than people. It's already weird enough knowing as much as I know. And there you go, Zenith. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, y'all keep getting me going on these little tangents here. I said I was about to leave about fucking half an hour ago. You got me like, I feel like you doing that concert and they're like, one last song. Do the last song. Come on, Elton John, do the song that everybody loves. And he's like, motherfucker, which one? Everybody's like, well, there's like 12 of them. Go do all of them. Come on, Neil Diamond. How did I just pull Neil Diamond and fucking Elton John out of nowhere? I didn't even get down with them like that. Yeah, Cam, you so funny. You wouldn't want the government testing you levitating. I mean, the government testing everything all day, every day, anyways. I don't fucking know. I'm just saying. Yeah, free bird it out. There you go, Super Champion Rocker. Thank you for saying that. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Saying test me and he's inspiring the world. Yeah, he is. And he also went to NASA. And and then you got NASA testing him. For what? For what? You know what I mean? NASA what? They got hold on, explain to me how NASA that's got fucking how many trillions of dollars and all they've done is given us fucking faulty information on going to the moon and all of a sudden they got to test Wim Hof? Really? This guy who just said breathe a little bit? Wim Hof said breathe a little bit and all of a sudden now NASA's co-opting what he's doing? Really? Well, because Wim Hof ain't even on it. Like, Wim Hof is doing something. He's an awesome person. And he getting taken advantage of in some way. Come on, like, NASA out here, like, oh, we need NASA to reaffirm? Oh, okay, let's reaffirm that? Like, I don't know. I'm like... Cam, you ask me this every fucking show, man. And you know what... And you know what I'm saying? Come on, he breathes a little bit. Well, that is the truth. There's been plenty of people out here doing more advanced breath work than what he's doing. He literally exactly says, people ask him, like, do I have to do anything special? He goes, no, just breathe. Tell me what else he said. He literally, absolutely, without question, in every one of his videos says, no, just breathe and hyperventilate. That's what he says. There's been ancient societies telling us to do that for millennia. And in fact, giving us higher levels of way to do it. And Core Love been out here telling you to breathe in a more advanced way that I've been saying. Ain't nobody asking me to go fucking teach people how to breathe. But he's out here just go, hyperventilate. Millennia. And yes, exactly. And I'm not taking anything away from him because it's excellent. You know, what he's doing is excellent. The cold water, hot water therapy, he ain't redesigned the fucking the dinosaur. He ain't redesigned the wheel. I'm glad he's bringing it out. I'm glad he's doing things. But like to have it quantifiable by NASA, you know, it's mad shammy and scammy and lame. People out here been telling this shit for a long time. What's the move? Oh yeah, now all of a sudden NASA gonna be telling people the truth? Lying to us about the shape of the earth and now we're about to believe them? What did they give us? They gave us dried fucking ice cream and a mattress that is actually spitting out fucking chemicals into our air, into where we're breathing, that's literally ruining our breathing patterns, that's literally poisoning us, and we all of a sudden gotta have them co-signing Wim Hof saying breathe. Like, give me a fucking break on the real. You got people out here that are telling you high levels of how to do this shit and nobody even fucking cares. Really? 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 Yeah. And Cam, you do make me crack up a little bit. Cause I'm about 99% sure. Like you do crack me up, man. You funny. Core Love, yeah. His name used to be Core Hertz. Corey Hertz. Imagine that. 99% sure of everything, Cam. Cam Newton. Cam Neutron. I'm 99% sure of most things. That's the point. Seems to be. Things seem to be as such. But nonetheless, who cares? As I said, y'all, all of this excessively free knowledge. Hope y'all are enjoying these rants and raves. I'm going to go ahead and take a nap. and charge up my phone, and we'll see. Maybe tomorrow I'll have some new insights. Maybe I'll have some weird dreams or something. Hope you all enjoyed the show, and obviously feel free to make those high fives and those thumbs ups and those LOLs. And if as always anybody wants to add to the slush fund of Zen living and having internet connection to provide you with these kind of informational things, you can always add money to my pocketbook. Feel free to do that. And yeah, peace out, y'all. Stay well. Do good things. And all you got to do is look in the description box to figure out how to help me out. Because help me help you. Because I only got one person to make sure that I have a fucking internet connection and place to live. So, cheers, y'all.